Hey, what's up guys? I hope you're doing well. This is Steven Gadaletta with the Self-Fulfillment Project, and in today's video I want to talk about one of your greatest enemies to success. And quite simply, that's your perspective. The perspective you take on the world, the lens through which you frame and shape your experiences in your life. Perspective is a very powerful thing. It can't change everything, but it can change a lot. You can take you can take two individuals, one experience, and they can experience two very different things. And like I always say, living is experiencing. So essentially you have two different realities based on two different perceptions. Because like I said, it's like a lens, If you look, those little big old magnifying glasses detectives use? If you try to look at the moon through that lens, it's not going to be very clear. If you look at the moon through the lens of a telescope, it's going to be very clear. Two very different perceptions. Two very different, realities based on two very different lenses or perspectives. And the same thing counts for the perspective we take on a daily basis. And I think this can be broken down into a few categories. No, it can't be. I was going to break it down into simple categories of, you versus the world, you versus other people, or you versus yourself. But I think there are a lot more perspectives. There's a perspective of victimhood. There's a heroic perspective, that I'm the savior of the world, kind of a messiah complex type things. And I think these are all archetypal perspectives. These are all very reoccurring, very, what would be the word? Very innate perspectives that people have. And I think one of the healthiest perspectives and one of the most productive perspectives to have is one not of fighting. We often like to think of us against other people, us against the best version of ourselves, or what have you. But I think that the most productive perspective would be a me and the world. A me and you, a we perspective, collective perspective, if you will. Because it's more of a harmonious, accepting, and easier philosophy on life. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking I sound like a fucking hippie. But the point is, when we always try to put a battle on things, when we constantly try to fight things, whether it's other people, society, or ourselves, that becomes fucking exhausting. That takes and drains so much out of us. There's a George Carlin routine, I think it's on homelessness. And he's talking about whenever we want to address a problem in our society, being the U.S. society, it's always a war on something. War on crime, war on drugs, war on terror, war on everything, right? And his whole point is, why don't we have a war on homelessness, right? But the point being, we always try to make a battle out of things. We always try to fight. We get like a warrior mentality, No, I think it's great to have competition. I think it's a great motivator and a great drive, but I think for an overall perspective, it becomes draining. And when do you stop? When do you stop fighting? When do you stop fighting other people? When do you stop fighting yourself? I think you can have constant growth and development, but you also need a harmony side. You also need to not combat. Again, look at our vocabulary. You need to supplement that growth with harmony, and we can do this in many ways. I won't get into it in this video, but the point is, our perspective needs to be on a harmonious growth, not a combative growth, not a I'm better than you growth, or I'm better than myself growth. Just a harmonious overall betterment, not for any selfish reason, not for any advancement reason in terms of getting other people, but an advancement for the betterment of everybody. Because I don't think this perspective is as exhaustive. It's actually generative. It creates instead of destroys. It promotes instead of casts other people out. And it brings people together instead of excluding others. So I guess I went on a different topic than I really wanted to in this video, but I think it's a good point. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, give me a like, leave a comment. I try my best to reply to all of them. Take it easy.